All right. So thank you so much for joining our business analyst course, and we have been, doing it on a regular basis at 8 p.m. IST. And in this particular course, we are been talking about the business analyst credentials. And after going through all the modules or all the segmentations of your business analyst, we will be ensuring that okay, we have covered a lot related to the business analyst course. So, till now, what we have covered so far related to the introductory part of the business analyst, like what exactly we have to do, and then we have talked about the collaboration part, and we have moved forward with the customer discovery, and even we have been moving forward with our business process mapping. And then today onwards, we have been talking about the requirement purposes, and then we will be moving forward with our user stories and user acceptance. So, till now, we have covered introductory part, collaboration with the stakeholder, and customer discovery. And in introduction, we have covered the comparison between two profile, admin and BA, and also looked into the best practices. Then we have also talked about the best, or you can say the major skills of the business analyst person. And then we have also discussed about the development models and their implementation cycle. In the collaboration with the stakeholder, we have talked about the whiteboarding, like how we can make sure that each and every requirement has been covered. And then we have also looked into the customer 360, where we have ensure that all the tools is been related to the customers. And then we have talked about the storytelling and also looked into the techniques related to the influence. And based on that trust and influencing, we have also talked about the relationship building. Then we moved to the sales part, where we have talked about the sales which has been involved in the business analyst on a day-to-day basis. And we have also looked into the best practices related to the sales part. And then we have also looked into how we can make sure that the alignment related to the business process is completed with the stakeholder involvement. And also we have looked into the performance metrics for each and every one those who are involved in the business process. Then we have also looked into the prototyping, ideation, and why do I need a center of excellence anyway. So these things has been covered till now in the collaboration part, and then we have jumped to the customer discovery. Customer discovery involved theoretical sessions and the Salesforce implementation, where we have talked about few models like V2MOM and also looked into the governance basics and some strategies related to the content development, and why we have to make sure that customer needed a center point of view, and then how we can ensure that customer centric discoveries related to the Salesforce partner. And then we have also talked about the Salesforce as a CRM. From the basics we have started, and we also looked into how we can make sure that each and everything is being completed, the health org, the security purposes, the surveys and audit trails, and our Salesforce CRM is now ready for the next release. So each and everything we have covered from the basic itself. Then in our Salesforce journey, as I told you that what is exactly Salesforce is, ecosystem are, how we can move ahead with the Salesforce, how we can navigate Salesforce, what are the features, what are the related Scrum and Kanban view, and then how would Salesforce equally look like. Then we have also talked about some tools related to the business analyst, where we have talked about Jira, SignOut, Smartsheet, Confluences, Gantt chart, and Trello. And even we have also looked into some Salesforce related stuff, like how we can integrate with the help of Salesforce to the LinkedIn. And then what exactly Git and GitHub are, what are the tools related to data importing. Then from yesterday onwards, we have been talking about the business process mapping, where we have looked into the business analyst documentation or the process mapping. And then we have also looked into the journey mapping, how we can map the journey of a customer. And then we have also looked into the design patterns of our customer, and also looked into how to build a customer, or you can say a Salesforce diagram based on the customer discovery. Then what are the diagrammatic essentials related to the customers? from today onwards, we will be looking into the requirement side to make sure that the requirement is being completed, and what are the basic modules related to the development of a document, and how many types of documents are, and what are the essential steps to take to make sure that document is being covered. Okay, so the thing is, we have came so far till now, and we have been talking on a daily basis. Few people are joining on a regular basis, but few people are joining and then leaving the course. So it's totally depend upon you guys, like which part you wanted to cover, and what exactly you need to understand from the business analyst point of view. So from today onwards, we will be looking into the requirement side, which is having a 17% weightage in our course. In a requirement, we have to look into document related to the analyst person, and what are the Salesforce requirement, and what are the writing things, what are the essential writing skills, or what are the key steps related to the documenting of a requirement. So we will be looking into these things, and you can see there are types of document related to the document business analyst course, which we have also shown you in the last slide. And and in the process of I believe I had got disconnected. So just do let me know, please. My screen is visible to you guys.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you so much. I believe that I got disconnected for a few moment. So I was talking about the slide which we have also discussed previously, that there are many types of documents related to the business analyst, and today onwards we will be looking into those documents one by one. Okay, so the thing is, project documentation is one of the key responsibility for a business analyst, and a business analyst has to prepare those document and manage those document related to the project life cycle, right? Or we can say in our simple terms, PLC, our project life cycle. So starting from the initiation to the project goes live, each and every documentations is ensured and managed by the business analyst person, or related to the project management person. Might be the project and person, or product manager person, or those who are involved in this particular business analyst. So there are many key documentations which are prepared, and you can see that there are multiple people those who are involved in this project. They has to ensure that each and everything is being covered from the initiation to the ending, or till the time when project goes live. So you can see there are multiple documentation. First one is glossary of terms, RACI chart, interview and elicitation records, stakeholder analysis, user stories, user cases, business analyst plan, current status state analysis, statement specification. Even you can, once you read those lines, or once you read those sentences, you can easily understand that, okay, this kind of document which I have already gone through in my life. But if it is not been possible to framework each and every requirement, you have another document related to that, because there are multiple documentations which is being needed to ensure that each and every requirement is being covered. So we will be looking into those documents one by one. So in glossary of terms, you can easily visualize that, okay, there are abbreviations, or you can say there are abbreviations in the left corner, and then the definition related to the particular terminology is written in the right side, which means that all the uh, technology terms, or all the methods related to the business process is being written in a single page. Or you can see, or you can say that each and every terminologies which has been used throughout the project is being written in a particular document, which is known as glossary of term. or you can say a bibliography kind of thing, like the tagline for A, B, C, and each and every word written related to that particular alphabet is been written into the single document. And in RACI chart, we have also talked about UPN yesterday, right? So in the UPN, we also looked into RACI method. RACI gives you an ability to understand who all are the person those who are responsible, who all are the person those who are accountable, the person those who are delegated work, and they are having a final review for a particular task, or you can say a particular deliverable before it's been completed. So these are the kind of people those who are accountable for any kind of process. People those who are responsible, they have to ensure that each and every task is being completed. There are people those who are consulted, like they need to be get a input on a particular deliverable based on the impact of your work, right? Whether they are from any domain. So these kind of people those who has we say as a consultant person. And then we have an informed person, like the person those who has to be on a loop on a particular progress of a project. They are definitely your customers, because they has to be informed enough about each and every stages involved during your project. So the RACI is simple, pretty easy to understand. What are the people who all are responsible? What I have to do on a particular stage, and to whom I need to consult for a particular task, so that I can get informed, and each and everything related to RACI. Okay, so this is just a rough idea about RACI, that what exactly RACI is all about. Might be people from project manager, they are your consultant person, might be your customer are the informed person, might be your project manager or stakeholders are the consult person, might be the user is informed person. But informed person is always on a loop, so that they will get an idea what exactly is doing in my project. Okay, so we have been looking into this particular RACI chart, and then we have another diagram to look into. The next one is stakeholder analysis. Okay, so stakeholder means, like, uh, think about the organization first. When it comes to any organization or project, the internal people or teams who are involved in your particular process has to take care of their customers, right? So the customers, or you can say a stakeholder, are the person those who are having the requirement. And we have to identify these kind of people before even starting our project, or based on the analysis of stakeholder analysis, we have to group them according to the level of participation, or their influences, or their interest, and determine how particular person has been involved, uh, so that we can easily communicate with them, right? So how we can analyze those, or how we can identify those kind of people? First we have to enlist that, okay, these are the people, they are the influencer, they are the executive, or they are the valuable person in their own organization. They will be going to give us a requirement, and we are you can enlist those people, and increase your chances to earn their support for your project, right? So because they are going to support your project, they will going to provide your requirement. But before you can determine that which influencers and other stakeholders need to be approached, you have to analyze this particular stakeholders based on their key satisfaction, based on their clarity, based on their like informations, based on their monitoring skills, or anything. Like we have to analyze their power of impact, or power, or we have to also look into their impact. Then we can see that, okay, these are the particular people, those who have understanding about the project, and they will give us a requirement. To gain early alignment with all the people related to the stakeholder side, we have to make sure that stakeholder analysis will be done, because this will help you to determine which people is going to be involved in your project, and you will then be able to bring those people together, might be in your early stage meetings, or might be after the starting of your projects. But these are the key people, those will give you objective and the plans about your project. So a stakeholder analysis will help you to ensure everyone is involved. Everyone means like the stakeholder is being involved, and they have your clear understanding what will be going to do, and even what exactly the success will look like, and how they can contribute to become your process a successful outcome. And at last you can say that, okay, this particular analysis help me to even avoid my conflicts or any issues which I will be facing in my next stage, because you have each and every understanding related to the process, related to the progress of your process, and even your stakeholders, what are their mindsets, how will they work. So each and everything is being covered in during your initial stage. Is there any doubt or queries? You can please do let me know.
So actually, in this stakeholder analysis, are we comparing their performance, like each person's performance or power, or
Yes.
what are we actually doing? Okay.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. Yes, exactly. You said the right thing, that we are comparing,
Mhm.
and based on their you can say based on their involvement, based on their value, based on their influences, based on their positions, because not everyone will be our stakeholder, not everyone will be our customer or client. So we are comparing based on this particular analysis to look forward for a key people, those who will give us a right kind of requirement to us, so that we can start our process.
Okay, so we will categorize them according to the priority. Who
Exactly.
will be more? Okay, yes.
Right, right, right. So by approaching various company influencers, executive, valuable, so in it help us in our early process, that okay, these are the people which I have to look into, or these are the main person, those who will be going to involved in our step by step process, right? Because you
Okay.
are categorizing them on the basis
Hmm.
of might be values, or might be their executive levels, anything,
Okay, yeah, got it.
right? So it helps you to determine how to involve, and who to involve in, and who to communicate, right, in each and every stages of your process. And even it also help you to address the conflicts and issues, right? So this analysis is being a prior stage, once you are defining the criteria, and once you are filtering out your customers or stakeholders. Okay. Is this clear now?
Yes, got it.
Thank you.
Yes, it's clear. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And then we will be looking into the different types of documentations. So first we have looked into the you know stakeholder analysis. We also looked into few RACI kind of charts. We also looked into glossary of terms. Then we have some kind of more you can say more types of documents which are involved, and which is being prepared by business analyst itself, right? So what exactly are those documents, why they are needed, and how to write them in order to get a full understanding about your project. So it might be, you know easy to understand what exactly my requirements are, what might be areas of interest for the customer, or what are the issues which I am facing currently. So it help you, or it help in various forms, not only to determine the issues, but it help you to get an idea, or even to get a full understanding related to your process. So it is important to note that those who might be depending on your process should be involved in while writing those kind of documents. So these kind of documents will be prepared based on your various factors, you can say. But the thing is, like, there are few factors which definitely needed to be covered while documenting these types of document. So we can say a project type, how the project is look like, and what exactly is it related to the IT, is it related to the finance, what exactly the project type is. So first we have to look into the project and the project type. Then we also looked into the size of a project, like might be in terms of finance, the revenue of a particular project, or might be in terms of people, those who are involved in the project, right? And even we also looked into the industry, what exactly industry we are going to focus on, whether we are dealing with the automobile industry, chemical manufacturing industry, or fragrance industry, or IT industry, what kind of industry we are going to do deal with. So these few factors is must while writing a documentation. Sorry. My bad, I got a sorry. So the thing is, like, before writing those kind of documents, you have to ensure that what exactly are the factors and why we are writing those kind of documents. So in that factors we talked about project type, their size, and even the industry. So basically you can say there are various type of documents which has to be narrowed down into three core stages. Okay. So first one, in funny things, we say it as a pre-game. Okay. So in the pre-game basically gives you a full understanding or clear understanding about initial reason why this project even come out. So we, in that particular pre-game, we play with the words, play with the customers, play with the team, those who will be going to involved in the process. Even we study the company and the process resources, and then who will need to take care of the documentations, who will be doing what. So we will prepare those kind of thing in a pre-game. And then once this thing has been ensured, then the day is come when we can say the day has finally arrived, and you have to ensure that, okay, now I have to be relaxed enough and enjoy that particular day because I have been done a lot of work, right? So the main thing is, like, hard work is already been done. Now it's time to dive into the business logic. So in that particular day you have to show your value, that you has completed your requirement, and you have jot down each and everything which has been needed. So stick to that particular plan, stick to what you just going to say. Always try to stick on that particular plan or agenda in order to ensure that each and everything is being covered. Okay. And even you have to be ready enough so that we can you can ask, or people can ask questions on everything, right? And you cannot find out at all at that particular time. So that you have to ensure that, okay, I might have to also ask the questions related to the process or the requirement. But in that particular day you have to draw, not to make a requirement on that particular time. You just make sure that you have to draw that particular process, or might be whiteboarding all the requirements, right? So first one was like we have to prepare each and everything like the company analysis, people analysis, and you have to ensure that those who will be responsible for writing a document, they are getting have a full understanding about the requirement. And at the time of day, you have to draw, not to write a document, because you have already done a hard work while preparing a documentations. Then after the game has been completed, or you can say the day has been gone, now what exactly you need to do? You should all be on the same page, like your team, your stakeholder should be on the same page, right? Before you have to start your project, they all have to be on the same page, right? Might be it requires some kind of meetings, or might be required uh, you know a full understanding about your process, but you should be ensure that each and everyone is on the same page. Okay, so this is what exactly you can say essential model of getting into the requirement. But what exactly we will be doing, and what are those kind of essential steps for writing those document? So we will be discussing all those document in a later slide. So but in this particular slide, you can see there are different types of document related to the business analyst. So we will be covering all those one by one now. So starting from the first one, before starting, just wanted to know, is there any queries? Please do let me know, because this particular slide will definitely take at least 10 to 20 minutes.
It's clear.
Okay, thank you so much. So we will be going to start from the first one, which is a business case and a project charter. So think about in the high level documentation, because business case is a high level document that has been created before even initiating the project, right? Because it is going to the process basically related to your vision, related to the benefits of the process, related to the what are the risk involved, what are the option involved, because that is going to be a full background about what exactly we will be achieving after a particular process completion. Okay, so this particular business case document is a high level document which is being prepared by business analyst people, and they has to cover all the objective of the project, all the visions related to the project, all the benefits related to the project, and even is there any options available, or we have to ensure that third party people are also involved during a process. That has to be covered in this particular business case document, right? So in nutshell, we can say this give you a full background about our business scenarios. Okay, and in project chatter, it's also a kind of high level document, because this has also been prepared before the project initiation, but it's a very short document, because that is only consist about information related to the stakeholder, and even the risk involved. Okay, so how and who will be involved, and how the project will be carried out, that's it. So it's just a short document, we can say a chatter kind of document, which is saying that the stakeholder are the people, and this particular information is needed in our project, and what are the risks involved, that's it. So this is just a few things, or you can say a very short document which is being included in the project charter. But on a bigger level, the business case is a valuable document which involved benefit, options, vision, objective. So there are two things, but these two documents are being prepared before even initiating our project. Okay, because the thing is like the document are being prepared by the project managers, and before analyzing business they cannot prepare those document, right? So these two document act as a final, or you can say a formal agreement, or you can say with this kind of document we will be going to start a business process based on these kind of documents, right? Next one, we have a business analyst plan. So you first we have cleared about the business case, their values, their vision, their objective. Then we are analyzing a plan, or analyzing a process, or analyzing a project life cycle in this particular document. So it is also a formal document, but it describes all the key activities which is going to be completed during a particular stage, right? Or during a particular project life cycle. Project life cycle, you can understand that first we have to initiate, then we have controlling, then we have monitoring, then closing, right? PLC. So in this particular PLC we have a key objectives about each and every requirements. Okay, so these document describes all the key activities. So it is also a part of your project management plan, but it only analyze, or you can say outline those requirement, and even is there any validation required, they can look into that. So this particular document is also being prepared during, or you can say after completion within a particular timeline, right? So that we can get an idea what all are the deliverables which has been completed and when they have to be completed. So it gives a particular analysis of your you can say your efforts, or you can say your process which has been involved during the uh, business process. And then we came to the BRD. The third one is business requirement document. So in our previous organization, we have you know a process to initiate, and then even without having a full understanding about what we needed, the people have started working on that particular thing. So we were surprised that these people have not even gathered the requirement from our side, and then they have started working on the project, right? So that particular thing which is not to be done, that's why we have a full document which says business requirement document, or we can say a BRD document, which because this has been created during the analysis of the project phase, you can say, right? So it is well written and detailed document, and each and everything what is needed, what are the expectation, is being covered during this particular BRD document, because this is a very critical document. And even if someone fails to prepare this particular document, then it definitely going to fail your process or fail your project. A failure of your project definitely going to be there, right? Because no one has a full understanding what exactly we need to do. That exactly what happened in the last organization, right? So this particular document is focused on what system should do, or what system has to complete, right? It has all the business logic, constraint, assumption, key stakeholders, right? Each and everything that is being prepared with the help of a stakeholder and customer, or even the subject matter might be those who are well aware about the requirement, well aware about the process. These are the kind of people involved in this particular documentation, and it is written in a simple terms without having any technical jargons. All right, so these definitely be there in order to ensure each and everything is being covered, and it has been reviewed again and again with the help of stakeholder, customer, business analyst, each and everyone. Even a draft of the BRD is being written, or is being reviewed again and again. before it goes live, and even before it goes approval, for the approval basically, right? So there are many meetings going to be happened while writing this kind of BRD document, or there might be having brainstorming sessions, or might be we are looking into the various technologies related to draft this particular BRD. So that particular BRD needed a full attention, because without this particular BRD we will going to lose our project, and there will be definitely there will be a project failure. Okay, so first we have a business case, we have a project charter which is being created before initiation of the project. Then we have analysis plan which is being carried out during the analysis of your project life cycle. Then we have documentation related to the business requirement, which is being done, or which is being done with the help of various people involved during the project analysis phase. Then we have FRS. So before starting FRS, just wanted to have a quick answer. Like, is there any queries? Please do let me know. Abhay, Divya, Swati, anyone can please do let me know, because this is going to be a theoretical part, and you should have an understanding about each and every document which is being related during a project business process basically, or you can say a process life cycle. So, is there any doubt? All clear till now?
No, all good.
Yeah, all clear.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
So,
it's clear.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So, I believe that with this particular documentation, you should have an understanding that okay, there might be a more document thing coming along, and what exactly we need to do. So, in the functional requirement specification diagram, or our documentations diagram, we you can say we build a process in a visualization manner, or you can say we write each and everything in a simple terms without having any technical knowledge related to it, because this particular thing will be written or visualized by the people, those who are having no understanding about what IT is all about, or what exactly IT process is all about, right? So this could be referred by anyone and has to be easily followed. That's why written in a simple language. Okay, so however, basically you can say this has to be give you a full understanding about the system going to be work, and what are the outcome going to be happen after completion of the process. This is done with the help of stakeholder again, but written in a written in an idea like what we have to do and how this particular process will going to behave, right? What exactly the function will look like, what exactly the input and what are the output will be look like, what are the properties of those particular process look like, and what are the data model will be look like, right? So this might be a visual diagram document, or the this might be a written in a simple language, but focused on a simple written document, you can say, because diagrams are a mapping thing, and diagram is not necessarily in functional requirement, but in terms of giving a full understanding about how the properties will look like, how the data model will look like. So this written document is also sometimes in some companies basically gives a visual representation of each and everything is being involved. Okay, so this is mainly built for you can say functional together all the functional requirement basically, in order to give a full understanding about what exactly needed to be done, and what are the specifications which is needed to be considered. Okay, and easily be able readable by each and everyone those who are involved in the process, whether they are from IT domain, whether they are not from IT domain. Okay, Then again we have similar kind of document which is SRS, not FRS. This is SRS. SRS is related to software requirement, because we are going to use a multiple softwares to build a particular process or to complete a particular process, right? So in the software requirement specification, we ensure that a particular software has a full specification to build a particular process on it. So it gives you a set of instructions, like what are the system, whether my mic is working, whether the video is working, kind of thing, right? Even we also ensure that the functionality of a particular laptop, particular mobile, particular tool, or particular software, or what kind of particular software we will be going to use, that is working in a better way. Okay, that's why we wrote those specification in a particular document which says software requirement specification, or SRS or SRD, because it's give you a full understanding about the specification of your tool which you will be going to use while building a process, right? Because the thing is, like, in the process you have data, and on the basis of the data you are going to save it on some storage devices, right? That means you need a storage requirement for it. So for the storage requirement for the document to build, you have a document which says software requirement document. Okay, then again we have few more visual diagrams, or you can say visual documentations, which is basically helpful for you to understand how your system going to build, or how your business will going to work, so that you should have an understanding about your client expectations along with your each and every stages. So it gives you a blueprint about what exactly you can design on, and what exactly you can build on. So you build some kind of documentation using wireframe, using prototype, using mop-up, these kind of things, right? So in this particular document, you just build something based on you drawing, right? So in that particular drawing, you can draw like system screen, you can draw like what kind of information need to be shown, what kind of functionalities needed to be added on. So these kind of things you ensure this has been completed, right? So first and foremost, you need to you have a tool in which is a wireframe, where you have to design your particular process, and then you might have to use it in a particular UI to show that, okay, let's suppose previously we have talked about Google Slides. So that tool gives you a full understanding about how a particular stages is been completing, right, from the left to right. So all the system features related to your process is being covered in that left to right diagram, right? So a well designed diagram will give you a full understanding about what exactly the initial stage, and what exactly will be the later stage of the project, right? So it is important to understand from the input side to the output side, right? And in this particular thing, you just use wireframe, which is a blueprint of your system, right? And design with the help of people, those who are involved, basically done by the business analyst itself, right? During the you can say during the gathering of your requirement, because we people are looking into the requirement, but we are also drawing some kind of thing while jotting down all the thing in the whiteboarding. So you can say a wireframe is a blueprint of your process, which is easy to test, or which is easy to understand and able to follow. So in this particular step, or in this particular diagram, you just you know use this particular visual representation, in order to make sure that each and everything is being covered and easily being recognizable by each and everyone those who are involved. And then we have use case diagram. uh, Use case is basically, to identify what exactly a business is all about, what exactly the requirement is all about. And it's also a easiest diagram to build on because it's based on the user, you can say, with the interaction. Like what I am talking about right now, make sure that you are building on it, you are working on it. So each and everything whatever we are interacting right now might be some people are drawing out of it. So that kind of drawing based on a real time conversation or real time interaction with the user gives you a user use case diagram, right? Because you are recording each and every scenarios while interacting with the person or while interacting with the system. So in this particular diagram, you can say you have a full understanding about how organization work, how a particular objective is needed to build, what are the steps going to do in a particular process. So it define each and everything involved in this particular set of actions, in terms of set of actions basically, right? So uh, yeah, I might forget one thing that in the use case we have certain people also, like we have actors, like the end users basically, because those end users will give you a full understanding about your requirement, right? And even based on their interaction, with the help of diagram, you make certain type of boundaries out of your system, out of your process, right? Because certain boundaries help you to stay on the process, not the project creep will, like, because sometimes what happen, if you are not going to bounder your process, not having a boundary of your process will definitely lead to a certain project creep, right? So in the use case diagram, based on the actors which are available, you build certain type of boundaries, right? And which help you to stay focused on your process. And then we have requirement uh, traceability matrix. Yeah. So in the requirement traceability matrix, you can understand that traceability, like it's give you a tracking of your requirement, right? What are the scenarios which you need to monitor on? So the test cases, and even you can reflect on it, like what are the defects on a particular process. So you can track or monitor your process with these kind of document, because you have ensured that okay, this is going to be covered, this is going to be tested, and each and every functionality is needed to be covered on each and every stage. So this particular document gives you a full understanding about how how a process needed to be monitored and how a particular process needed to be tracked, right? And this is going to be done by the help of various people like managers, project managers basically, right? And stakeholders, client, and even you itself, like being a business analyst person. So it is also a most important document which help you to monitor your process, which help you to monitor or track your process, right? Because it's already covered each and every functionalities which is needed to be covered. And it's might be, you can build out in spreadsheet, excel, anything, or might be in a tabular form, anywhere, right? Which might have been one to many or many to many relationship kind of thing, anything which whatever you wanted, you can make it like that. But this has to be make sure that each and every functionality is needed to be covered, right? So because this document is definitely going to be helpful in your project life cycle, or you can say a PLC, or you can say a process life cycle, because you are not only building a project, we are already building a process as well. So in your each and every stages, this this document help you to track your process, or track your or monitor your process, right? And what exactly we have to cover? UAT. Okay, so UAT itself, user acceptance testing, or you can say there is a testing or QA, right? With a quality analyst person, right? So they have a testing people in your. We have a testing people in our organization, which test a functionality which is being built by the developer, right? So in some organization there is a QA, in some organization there is a tester, in some organization there's a whole team involved in it. So but business analysts are the people those who have to ensure that functionalities are being covered, and now this particular stage is being completed and ready to test before UAT, like the user acceptance test, right? Because user will now going to test it. So before going to the user, you have to ensure that each and everything is being covered and tested from our side, right? Because business analyst, you know, assist the stakeholders or users in completing each and everything, right? Therefore you have to understand that all the test cases is being covered and finished before the UAT. How we can ensure that? By listing all the scenarios, and by listing all the scenarios related to the process, right? And even we have already been tested before UAT. So we are having an idea that okay, by after this particular process, this is going to be the expected result. And even you build a confidence that okay, I will deal with the customer, that okay, see, we have built a functionality, now it's ready to test from your side, please test it. And if you click on this particular button, this is going to be happen next, right? So you will have a full understanding about what exactly is going to cover next thing. So this used case, or you can say this test cases, is helpful in order to get an understanding about what exactly the result will be for the UAT or user acceptance testing. And then we have a change management, because people those who are new to the technologies, they feel tough, they have a hard time to adopt a new technology, right? So you will come across many changes during the process, and might be you might have to need a new software, new or tool, in order to involve or in order to make sure that your process has been working fine. So that time you have to make sure that the business, the thing is like business definitely need a change, right? So once you get an idea that okay, now my business need a change, then you have to ensure that people are those who are involved during the process should have an idea about how a particular tool will work on, right? So you need to do some kind of regularity requirements from the business side, so that you should have a adaptability about different tools, right? Because some changes definitely needed in our initial pay time, definitely needed in our later stages of your requirements, right? So any additional requirement after the business requirement are the baseline for your change request, right? So change requests are basically those requests which is being requested by the stakeholder, and you are now going to cover those change requests based on your functionalities. But based on that change request from the customer side, you might need certain tools to cover those changes, and in that tool you people has to be able to adopt those kind of changes, right? Or those kind of tools, so that each change request should be fulfilled, and without having any kind of project creep, you will cover those changes within a timeline, right? So I believe that this particular documentation help you to understand what are the different types of business documents, and how a business analyst will be responsible for uh, understanding each and every requirement based on the interaction with the client, based on meetings. But the thing is, like, each and everything is being completed with the help of these document only. So before scheduling a meeting with the client, before doing any project initiation, you should have a clear understanding about your requirement, and then based on those requirement, you should ensure that each and every document related to those requirement should be cleared to you, right? Because project documentation is one of the key tasks for a business analyst, which has to be delivered by them, right? And there might be n number of documents, not only these which you are looking into the screen right now, but there might be n number of documents. So just we have covered all these top 10 document, you can say, which is being required by a company. And even you can say there are templates available for these kind of documents to start working on it, because this is going to be common for each and every person, right? So this is not limited for particular process, but there might be n other documents and number of other documents which is going to be helpful for you, but these are the top 10 which we have covered. So I hope that you find this particular thing useful, and even this particular documents will clear certain doubts in your mind, right? Please do let me know, is there any doubts?
So is this FRS and the visual documents are almost same, right? Because both are the diagrammatic representation. Or the visual document you told some blueprint using some tool, but in the FRS also we will be using some kind of like the diagrammatic representation only, right?
See, the thing is, functional requirement is basically
Mm-hmm.
based on functionalities of your, uh, let's suppose you can think about in this sense. You have an IT people, right, in your organization. So in this RT people, those who are having an IT knowledge, they are having a good understanding about the process, like what needed to be developed, and what exactly the functionality will behave in a certain way. But apart from the IT people, there are different department as well, which are not sure how a particular functionality will work out if this has been built by the developer. So that functional requirement gives you a full understanding what exactly is being completed during this particular requirement, or you can say what exactly needed to be covered during the functionalities to build, right? And even this has been written in a simple terms, so that that particular person, those who are not into the IT domain, they can at least have an idea that okay, this is the input, this is the output, this is the process, these are the properties, and this is how a data model look like. So this particular functions related to the system, which is input, output, or properties, or your data model, each and everything, the function related to the process of your project, right? So functions like the from the input side to the output side, each and everything which is been going to happen during this particular process, and how this particular process will behave after completion. So each and every function is being written in this FRS, or you can say a functional requirement specification document. But in software requirement specification, you just mention all those specification related to the software, related to the tool which you are going to use. Let's suppose I'm using a ThinkPad right now, and I have ability to understand why ThinkPad is mandatory to perform certain kind of activities on it. I can use this particular meeting on my second device, which is my mobile. So but in mobile I might have no features